Hello everyone, it's Rick here and welcome to Computer Tech TV. Today's video I just wanted to give you guys a quick look at a computer that I picked up from a coworker. Now background story is, he had this computer, this is a Dell 518. It's a few years old, I think it was released around 2007 or 2008. And I didn't really think much of it, and he ended up bringing it in one day and he said he was having problems with Vista. This has Vista Home Edition, 32-bit I believe, might be 64-bit. But he basically was having problems with it, was running real slow. He didn't really want to deal with it anymore. He's had the computer for several years, and I will say he's taken very good care of it, which you guys will see here in a minute. And so he basically bought a new computer, or I think he might have bought a laptop, I'm not sure. So he brought this computer in, and along with this tower, I got a set of Dell speakers. I got a really nice HP combo printer. It's got a scanner, fax machine, everything all with it, which I'm currently using now, and it works excellent. He said it needed some ink, but it seems to be printing just fine. Also, he gave me all the documentation, which is rare for a computer that someone has had this long. Hardly ever do I see someone who has all the documentation, and I will show you guys that real quick. I know it's not really the most important thing, but here you go. This is everything, and I'm going to try to do the reinstall of Vista on here to see what happens, but you got your installation disc here, all your drivers. This is actually for the printer right there. And then you got all your other applications, drivers, which I can get those all online. Quick reference guide. And pretty much everything else. Along with even some stuff that you wouldn't think would be included, or at least that people would hold on to. You know, how to connect the computer up to things. So yeah, I got all that, which looks like it might end up actually working out because I'm gonna try to reinstall Vista. If not, you know, I got some plans here, but basically, like I said, I got that. He had this really old microphone thing, and really don't have a use for that. Some cables, and I believe that was it. But anyway, I took really good care of this thing, and I'm pretty sure he cleaned it quite often. I opened it up just for a second, just to kind of take a look inside, and I'll show you guys that as well. But I'll give you guys a quick look here. I'll take the camera off the tripod and give you a look in here. And from what I can see, there are no scratches or any kind of blemishes really on this computer, especially for one that's as old as it is. And I don't know if you can tell, but the plastic around the front bezel here is actually still on. So, you know, I figure it's been on this long, I might as well leave it on until I find wherever its proper spot's going to be. And I didn't really have any plans for this computer at first, because I didn't really know what it had, and I actually just figured out what kind of hardware is in it, and it's actually a pretty decent machine for being from, you know, 2007 or 2008, and so I think I got a plan, and I'm either going to make this as a backup computer to where I can kind of use this, and, you know, if I'm working on my computer, I'm actually planning to do a whole redo of my computer, and I'll have another video of that when Intel Skylake comes out. And so I decided that, or I might even turn this into my girlfriend's office computer, get her a nice monitor, keyboard, mouse, everything. She's using a 17-inch HP laptop right now, and it's a few years old. Still does everything she wants to do. I was going to put an SSD on it and reformat it with Windows 8 or Windows 10, depending on how things go. But I think it'd be nice, you know, in her office, just to have a standard desktop computer. She does a lot of photo editing, and mostly just, you know, online type of stuff, email, you know, searching for jobs and stuff. She's, you know, not really happy with the job she has, so she wants to look for something else. So I figured it'd be easier to have a computer. And this one, I have fired it up, got into BIOS, tried to go into Windows, but like I said, he had told me that it really was slow, and I let it, you know, try to boot into Vista for several minutes, and I just turned it off. I wasn't even going to mess with it. So I have some plans after looking inside and everything. I'm going to clean it up a little bit. Got some parts laying around. Considering I got this computer for free, I got all kinds of stuff laying around. I figure I might as well, you know, mess with it a little bit, see if I can quiet it down. I noticed the CPU fan does make a little bit of noise. Sorry. And the other fans really aren't too bad, but the cooling in these cases isn't the greatest. And I like these cases here, the 518, the 530, the 531 Inspirons. I really like the way they look. The features that they have, and I'll show you guys that in a second. And just overall, I mean, I like it. It's stealthy looking, you know, it's black, it's not too big, it's, you know, kind of a small, I guess, mid-tower kind of thing. It's got a micro ATX motherboard. So yeah, it's definitely looks like it's going to be fun to mess with. So let me give you guys a quick look around. I'll open it up, show you guys inside, let you know what it's got as far as hardware, And then next video I will show you guys what I've done to it. Alright, quick tour of the outside here. On the top of the case they have two USB 2.0, so you can hook up a camera or MP3 player, external hard drive, which she has a 1 terabyte external hard drive that I just picked up for her for some backup for photos and videos. So that's really nice, and you can see it does have the Windows Vista Home Premium on there. Like I said, I'm going to try to reinstall that. So that's one of the cool features about this case. Also here on the front, I really like these 518s and the 530, 531s. The 530 and 531 actually has some grilling that goes along the side here, and I think I've seen them in black, but mostly I see them in white, and it's got like a silver kind of accent that goes along with it. They also have the venting here on the side, I believe, too. All pretty much similar case in the Inspiron series, and they draw air in here from the sides as well as the bottom. This one has some grills down the bottom underneath here, which if you had this on carpet, I can't see it really taking in much air. And on the front, very clean. Like I said, I can't really find any scratches or imperfections on this computer, so he must have had it tucked away in a cabinet somewhere. But you got your two hidden 5 1/4 inch bays here, and those just open up whenever they pop open. Standard SATA DVD-RW, and if you want to open it up, there's a button right over here, and I believe there's even an area where the LED will shine through. Same thing here, you got a secondary bay, there is nothing in there. And probably my coolest thing I like the most about these cases is they have this little cubby area here. And I've seen a lot of these where it's got a media card reader here, but this one, and this computer is kind of strange because I looked up some specs for this computer, and this one seems to have some higher end and some lower end parts. Like I've seen most of the ones that are like this one or the highest end that you could get, and it has a media card reader. Well, this one does not have that. So I don't know if maybe he had upgraded some stuff on this, mainly the hard drive, and I'll go over that in a second. But you got two USB 2.0s, headphone, microphone, and then you can see Dell, nice chrome Dell logo there. Got your power button, which I believe has the LED there, and you got the hard drive indicator LED, I think, right here. Like I said, I fired this up a couple minutes, and that was it. I didn't really take too close of a look at it. You can see Vista Core 2 Duo, and I really like this nice chrome accent, which at first I thought was actual venting, but it is just solid behind there. I actually took these panels off, and the nice thing too is that both panels will actually come off. Isn't really much room behind that one, but it's nice that both of them do come off. And yeah, so I mean, it looks nice, but it doesn't function any purpose. There is some vents under here, but as you can see, maybe really isn't a whole lot of room, so I'll probably have to get this lifted up on something so it does have some room to intake some air. And sorry, I'm using a Galaxy S4 right now, so it's not the best quality video, but I don't currently have a really good camera right now, so this is what we got. Look around the back, it's got your standard 300 watt power supply, standard 518, 530, 531 IO shield area there, some USBs, 1394, LAN port, I think that's 5.1 audio, I believe, and your VGA, which is all you pretty much get. 92mm fan here in the back, if we can focus, and you got your 4 stock OEM style Dell expansion covers here, which everybody seems to complain about because you got this screw that comes off and they all kind of just get loose. And you got a little modem port there, so it tells you this computer does have a few years on it. And actually, if I can, yeah, we'll go back to this here. If you can see, it'll focus. Probably won't focus. 11/19/2008. Yeah, there you go. 11/19/2008 was when this was made, so basically almost 2009. So it's definitely in great condition. So let me open up the side panel, put the camera back on the tripod, and I'll give you a quick look inside. And here's a look at the internals of the 518. Nothing too fancy, pretty much typical what you see with all these 5 series Inspiron computers from Dell. You got your hard drives here mounted on the side, which is kind of a nice idea, except for there's no cooling that comes in the front. The only fan in the case is this 92mm fan in the rear. You have an 80mm fan here on the CPU, and there's another 80mm fan exhausting air through the grills here in the front of the power supply. And the only thing I found with this is the CPU fan does make a little bit of noise. The rear fan's fine, and I think the power supply fan is fine. However, I do have another power supply I'm going to swap into this. Same rating, 300 watts, but it's got a 120mm fan, so it'll help exhaust air out of the case. Might possibly put a 120mm fan here because there's some grills here in the front. And I'm probably going to move the hard drive up into the spare 5¼ inch bay, just because I want to, just to test it out. And the main reason I want to swap the power supply out, not because of any power requirements, because this power supply is proprietary to this computer, and it only has 4 serial ATA power connectors, as well as your 24-pin and the 4-pin for the motherboard, but it has no Molex and no additional connectors for anything else. So, not really much room for expandability. Also, I'm going to be removing that modem card. Obviously, there's no need to have that, but I don't think I have a spare cover for that. I might have one. I'll have to look through all my PCI slot covers that I have. But in the future, I'd like to install a very small video card just to kind of help, because the onboard video, not the greatest, especially if I'm going to have Windows 8 or Windows 10 on this, you know, running the Arrow theme and everything. I don't know well how good it's actually going to perform. But for now, you know, it'll work. I'm going to try to reinstall Vista on there, see what happens. You know, maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. If not, you know, I'll just wait. Like I said, I have another computer, my girlfriend's a laptop, so not really a big deal to get this thing going right now, but I just thought it'd be cool to, you know, mess around with this computer a little bit. And as far as hardware goes, because I'm sure that's what everybody's been waiting for, I did some research, and I was thinking originally that this computer was going to have a, you know, E2200, or the high end of this thing, the specs would have been a Q6600, but everyone that I saw had the HD 3450 ATI card in it, and this one did not have that. And it also didn't have the media card reader in front, so I figured, you know what, I'm not that lucky to get the quad core. And being it only had the 300 watt power supply, I figured it wasn't going to have the quad core anyway. But it has a E7200, which is still a pretty good Core 2 Duo, especially for being an internet type based computer, so that should be plenty. And I figured it also was going to have 2 gigabytes, maybe 3 gigabytes, because it has 4 sticks, 4 DIMM slots, which is actually more than you see on a lot of these computers. I think my sister's and my uncle's E530 actually only has 2 DIMM slots. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've looked inside of there. But it actually has 800 megahertz DDR2, 4 gigabytes, so that's, you know, perfect for what it's going to be used for what it's going to need for the operating system and all the programs. And the hard drive, I originally thought was going to be a 250 gigabyte or 320 gigabyte Samsung or Hitachi, because I think my sister's computer actually originally came with a 250 gigabyte Samsung drive, and that ended up dying, and I got a Western Digital black drive for her, and it works perfectly to this day, years later. But it's got a Western Digital blue 640 gigabyte, so that was definitely a surprise to see that. And just, you know, some generic DVD-RW drive, not a big deal. Probably going to end up taking that out of there after I get Windows and everything installed, because there will be no real use for it, because I have a external CD drive, and I'll probably end up purchasing another one for her. She can just run it off the top. But like I said, we'll see what happens. I'm going to wrap this video up here. I think I've drugged this on enough. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope I didn't bore you with anything. If you guys have any ideas, or you have one of these computers, let me know what you think of it. I think it's going to be perfect for what it's going to be used for. I have a bunch of stuff laying around, so I'm going to move some stuff around, swap some parts, you know, see what happens. And I'll make another video, and I'll let you guys know my progress, let you know what I find out, how the Vista reinstall goes, and show you guys, you know, final look at this computer, what I've done, you know, fails, wins, and we'll go from there. So thank you all for watching. You guys all have a great day, and I will talk to you real soon.